Hey guys, this is Vijay. Today I'm going to do a detailed long-term review on the Aprilia SR 150. I spent about 4 months with the bike and I've finished my second service with it. So I'm going to share my experience with this bike for this long duration. So let's quickly jump in. So let me start off with the tires. These come on a 14-inch wheel. These are tubeless tires. These are very chunky tires, very grippy, I would say. The rear and the front come with the same size tires. Because they're very grippy, you can do high-speed cornering very confidently. This won't let you down. Moving on to suspension. Now these are tuned to be very good at high speeds. So they are on a stiffer side. At lower speeds, all the feedback from the road will be transferred through the shocks to your handle. So at low speeds, you will feel each and every bumps through the handlebar. However, at high speeds, you don't even have to slow down the bike for smaller potholes or bumps. You can take all of them very easily. So I would say the suspension is rather good on this particular bike. Now let me talk to you about the headlamps. This come with a twin barrel setup of headlamps, and there are a few bikes in India that come with the same setup. So if you want to switch the light on, you can see that there's one parking lamp that goes on, which is at the middle part of the top, and then this is the low beam, and then you can switch on to the high beam. And just like any other dual barrel setup, you can either have this or the high beam, low beam or the high beam. Well, if you want both on, you can also do that by hitting this pass switch. As you can see, this feature comes with most of the bikes in India, but I think this is the first time it comes on a moped. So when you hit the pass switch, both of it turns on. Well, now let's talk about the acceleration bit of the bike. This is pretty quick for a moped actually. Although 0 to 20 would take a little longer, 20 to 100 shouldn't take long at all. It is very quick and very smooth. I've seen quite a few reviews wherein people tend to reach 120 on this particular Aprilia model. Although I haven't had a chance of open stretch roads to hit 120, I'm pretty sure this is doable on Aprilia. And I would again like to say that 0 to 100, you can get to 100 at any short stretches of road, which shouldn't be an issue for this bike at all. Now with the acceleration, we should talk about the bikes. They are set up on a softer side. They're very soft, and it does its job pretty good, especially with the 220mm disc brake at the front. It does come to a halt at a very short distance. Although I do not have an official figure or a distance from Aprilia stating how far it takes for it to come to a standstill from 60 to 0, I would say that distance should be very small. The footboard or the floor is pretty small compared to other mopeds. I have a size 8 feet, and as you can see, I have enough room for my feet. It's not going to be an issue, even if you're a size 10 or 11, it shouldn't be an issue. But people who tend to carry baggage on their footboard here, they'll have to stop doing that because there's absolutely no space for that. There's a hook provided here. It's all plastic, as you can see. I carried around 5 kilos of weight in here without the baggage touching the floor, of course. And it can take 5 kilos of weight easily. Although it's all plastic, I wouldn't recommend doing more than 5 kilos. So let's talk about the seat itself. I would say they're not that comfortable. As you can see, the rear, the pillion will sit a little higher than the rider. I do around 30 kilometers of commute daily to office, and I do not feel much of an issue. But I would say people doing longer distance would feel it to be uncomfortable. They're not quite comfortable seats, to be honest. And I would say the same goes with the pillion. Let's talk about the rear foot pegs. As you can see, they're designed very well to look at, but I would say they're not practically designed. As you can see, you cannot open it with your feet at all. No matter what you do, you just cannot open it with your feet. If you want to open it, you will have to bend down and open it by hand. If you're someone like me who does solo riding all the time, you will not have an issue. But if you do pillion riding most of the time, you will have to keep it rather open all the time, or bend down each time to open it. Now let's talk about the underseat storage. As you can see, it is a small storage capacity. However, I have my full face helmet on, and you can lock it as well. So my full face helmet does fit in properly in here. I will have to tell you that I'm not a big man. I'm a thin person, at 5'7". So my helmet goes in clearly inside. I do not have any issue with it. Let me talk about this hook also while we are here. This particular holder is actually designed for your first aid kit or the toolkit. I used to have my first toolkit here initially, but it used to fall off very often. So whenever I used to open storage, I will have to fix it. So this is how it used to come off. So what I did is I stopped using the toolkit, and I just try to keep my usual documents here, and yeah, it works fine for me. But so I'll have to tell you, if you want to put something heavy, it will fall off, and you'll have to keep fixing it whenever you open it. Now moving on to okay, before that, you can see here I have this particular charging point here. So there are a few of the accessories that I've talked about in my other video. So if you want to know more about the accessories, please check out my other video. You will know about the charging point, the floor mat, and few other accessories that come along with the bike. So now let's talk about the fuel itself. Aprilia says it can take 6.6 liters of fuel. Generally I tend to fill in 4 liters of fuel whenever I'm about to hit empty. So whenever I do that, I get to around 75%. I would say I'll reach till here. Yeah, 75% of the capacity. So if you are getting dry, as in if your bike is dry, you can, I'm pretty sure you can fill it up with 6 liters of fuel. That shouldn't be an issue at all. And while we are talking about the fuel, let me also tell you about the mileage. I used to get around 34 or 33 to 34 liters of mileage initially, but now after the second service it's gone up to 36 to 37. So it's not a significant jump, but there's a slight correction that happened, so I'm happy for it. I hope it will increase to around 38, 39. I'm just optimistic, I would say. But yeah, currently I'm getting 36 after this second service, and I have done around 950 kilometers, and it's been 4 months since I got this. So now let me also talk to you about the shock. As you can see, there's only one shock on the left side of the bike, and there's no shock on the right. So this is a mono shock setup that's been released with this particular model. This is just like most of the bikes that are in the Indian market right now, with a monoshock absorber. Well, I did not face any issue with this, as in there's no offset of balance or anything, any sort of such things, and it's done pretty good so far, and I don't think it will cause any issue in the future. So yeah, that's all I had to cover. Okay, one last thing I would like to tell you before I end my video is there's one issue that I faced with this bike. This is after a month that I bought this bike. So I had to leave Bangalore. I had to leave my city for a couple of weeks. So 1 month after I bought this, I had to leave the bike. So it was just sitting there idle with no one starting it. So after I come back after 2 weeks of break, it just didn't start. I think the self didn't work. The battery had completely drained out. At least for the first 2 days, I had to kickstart every day for about a week's time. It wasn't much of a problem, but for someone with a very new bike, kickstarting the bike is a little troublesome. So I had to take this to the service center. They got the battery recharged, and now it's working fine. So I would suggest not to keep your bike idle for more than 2 weeks if you're going out. Just have someone to just start it at least every day. So yeah, that's the complete, I would say, the detailed long-term review of Aprilia SR 115. If you like the video, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching.